first.
Okay. Happy birthday, Emily.
Happy birthday, Jan.
It's like when we say we're sisters.
Yeah.
We truly mean
We
twins.
really do.
Like, it's just a level up.
We don't have the exact same birthday, but it's pretty close.
It's basically the same. One's in end of October, one's at the start of November.
Very close in birthdays, but very different astrological signs, I would say.
Yeah. And so since everybody's always asking us about what signs we are on our TikTok live.
It's a big topic of conversation.
It totally is. We feel like we really need to just clear the air.
Yes,
and,
agreed.
Share some secrets. I don't know if they're secrets.
I guess maybe it's some unexpected things about us through our big three. And I think we're also going to talk a little bit about how important our birthdays are to us and kind of what it means.
Hi, my name is Janice.
My name is Emily.
And this is 4 Years Later, where
we talk about the unglamorous parts of being in our mid-20s as Asian American women all 4 years after college.
Okay, so let's get into it. We have no time to waste. Emily and I are going to pull up our co-stars.
Yes.
And we're going to share who we are, I guess.
This is the real me.
Okay, so please excuse me if I get any terminology wrong. I don't fully understand.
We don't really understand it. We're
just reading off of the thingy.
Yeah.
So my sun sign is Scorpio.
Yikes.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I just have heard that it's not good to be a Scorpio.
Yeah, I know. Everybody always shames me for being a Scorpio.
On the lives, everyone's always
I don't like to say it out loud. I truly don't believe I am a Scorpio from what I've heard.
Oh, by the way, they changed and stuff?
By just the traits of being a Scorpio.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I'm a Scorpio.
What are the traits that you've heard that you don't think you have?
Jealousy. I'm I think I'm a very neutral person. Scorpio just gives off what's that? Resting bitch face, And I feel like I'm not that.
I don't think you have that, I guess. I would totally say you're a jealous person.
Okay, that's because Emily legit, what is it? Hangs our friendship in front of my face. Dangles it. She's literally I'm in a new friend at work. She's exactly like you.
Yeah, sometimes I do that.
Jealous?
I guess so. But
she's a Scorpio.
I'm not a Scorpio. I am a jealous person, but I'm not a Scorpio.
She's
okay,
a Scorpio.
Continue.
Okay, so you're a Libra.
I'm a Libra.
I don't know what that means.
I think it means we like to have everything balanced. So you know how one of the what's it called? The emblem, the symbols of being a Libra is there's the scale. So you like things in your life to be balanced and stuff, which I think is very
That's so true of you.
Yeah, I think I like that. So I think that's one of them. And then I think the other one is those have you seen that account on Instagram? It's glossy zodiac or something. Have you seen that account?
No, but you've been targeted.
Okay, no, because Alicia almost sends them to me. She's like, "This is so you," and it's oh god, I gotta pull it up. But I feel it's a lot about liking to be kind of center of attention.
Oh, that's totally Emily.
I think that was one of them. It's in some way. It's sort of. I know other zodiac signs are also have that trait, but I think that's one of them.
That's completely you.
Okay, so what's your rising?
No, it's your moon first.
Oh, okay. What's your moon?
My moon is Pisces.
Okay. And
is that the bad one? I mean, the scary one that you always make fun of me for?
No, but I'm also a Pisces, and my rising is a Pisces.
No, wait, but your moon is a Leo.
My moon is a Leo.
Okay.
Yeah, but I always get confused about the moon. What the moon, I thought it means your true emotion or something.
Yeah,
it is. Oh, okay.
I think your rising is how people perceive you. Which you're a Pisces.
So I'm a Pisces.
And I'm a Gemini.
Yeah. Yeah, Janice's big three is not the most desirable.
Okay, you know what? Let's just stop right here.
Okay.
And go into our compatibility.
Let's do it.
My nose is itchy. Okay. Sorry, everyone.
Oh my god. Okay. Continue.
Compatibility. We are compatible in our intellect and communication. That's so...
I would say that, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's really good. I think we're on the same level there. Philosophies of life. I would agree.
We're both Sagittariuses in that way.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, philosophies of life. I feel like on the pod we usually agree.
Totally. Sense of responsibility, same thing too.
Okay.
But okay, our basic identities are different.
Not good.
Our moods and emotions are not compatible.
That's weird. I would say they are.
I agree.
Yeah.
We're very much in sync. But okay, so I'm just gonna quickly go through it.
Yeah.
My sun is in Scorpio. That is like how my ego, my identity, and my role in life is. It's the core of who I am.
Wow.
This is so intense. Meaning I have the fundamental urge to get to the bottom of things, which at times can lead me to be manipulative or power hungry.
Whoa.
But it comes down to an intense passion for authenticity, real intimacy, and the truth. I sound like a detective.
I feel like that's real. I feel like that makes sense.
You really think that's me?
Kind of. It sounds really, really intense, but I feel like overall that you do like to get, we just talked about this the other day, like you have to understand everything to like the last bit. You know?
You're right. It's like one of the traits that is good and bad because it can really annoy people when I ask why like 5 million times and they're like, it's just accept it. I'm like someone in the movies where, you know, like if the superhero's like doing something that logically doesn't make sense, I'll be like, well, why did he go get a snack and then go kill the guy? Like, why can't he just kill the guy first and then go get a snack later?
And everyone's like, Janice, who cares?
Like, just accept it. It has to go this way for the movie to continue on. I'm like, but that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, continue.
Okay, she's over it.
I'm over it.
Your sun is in Libra, so you are fundamentally oriented towards fairness and justice. You always okay, it says their always generous relativism allows them to see both sides of the situation, though this may sometimes come off as indecisive or insecure.
Yeah, Barry would agree.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
You frequently question yourself and rethink views. I think that's true. It's because you want to make sure like what you're choosing is right, but how do you know?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm always scared I don't want someone to be wrongfully accused. Like even in like my friend groups and stuff, like just like small problems. I'm like, I want to make sure everyone is fairly assessed.
You don't want to unfairly judge somebody.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so moon. Moon rules your emotions, moods, and feelings. This is likely the sign you most think of yourself. So this is how you see yourself, I guess.
Whoa.
My moon is in Pisces, meaning I'm emotional, empathetic, dreamy, sensitive, and gentle. You feel vulnerable much of the time and desperately wish for a partner who deeply understands you.
Wow. We're making some breakthroughs today.
Oh my God. Okay, your moon is in Leo, meaning your emotional self is dramatic. Pause. Proud. Expressive. Idealistic. Somewhat self-centered.
Fair.
Oh, this is so good. They need a lot of love, care, and validation from other people.
Oh my God. That's me.
Emily.
Oh my God.
I mean, I didn't fully understand astrology until probably reading this out loud.
Right, yeah. It's
so on point for you.
I think it's on point for both of us. I think it's very real. You know, I don't want to take astrology too far. Like, I think it's fun. I think it's like cool to like understand. I think it does help people understand each other and themselves a little bit more. So it's cool. I like it.
I would agree with it. But all this to say is we're in Libra season.
We are in Libra season.
And Emily just had her birthday party yesterday.
Yes!
It was really fun, you guys. So chill.
Very chill.
But
I think
it was like the perfect 27-year-old birthday.
I know. I can't believe I'm 27.
I'm still 26.
For the next like week and a
Shut
half.
Up. I'm still 26.
We're going to have to change our Instagram bio soon.
How are you feeling though? Tell me what it's like on the other side.
On the other side, yeah. Now that I'm not in my mid-20s and my late 20s now.
Oh my God. You're basically 30.
And that's what I would say. When you're 27 or older, like you're basically 30.
Yeah, you might as well say you're 30.
I agree. I feel like being 27 is interesting. Like, I have an interesting relationship with my birthday, for sure. And I feel like there's that whole saying, right? Like, hot girls cry on their birthdays or whatever. I guess I'm a hot girl.
She just center of attention.
Do you not cry on your birthday?
No, because I'm a strong, manipulative person. Okay.
Apparently, you and I differ in that way. We're
not compatible in love,
and we're not compatible on our birthday
and our basic identities.
Yeah. No, I always cry on my birthday. Always. I mean, I think starting a few years back, like, my birthday used to be a huge, huge deal when I was growing up. Like, I made it, like, my personality for the whole month. I always had a really great party with all of my friends, and, like, I looked forward to it so much every single year. And, like, for my birthday, we always growing up did a friend's party. We had a family party, like, and I always celebrate my birthday with my dad, who passed away, like, God, it's 2022, 8 years ago. It's been like 8 years. Yeah. And his birthday is on the 27th of October. Mine's the 17th. So we always had, like, it made sense for us to celebrate it together. And so I think about that. And then more recently, my mom passed away. And so when my dad died, we always celebrated together. And, like, we just don't anymore. So my birthday is, like, a little bit more sad. So yeah, this is a sad episode. We came wearing our black today because we're gonna talk about something more sad. But yeah, I'm 27. My parents have both passed away, so my birthday is just like kind of more sad these days because we always, like, did stuff together. And my parents, they both passed away from cancer. So I have been a very chaotic, like, last, like, 8 years or 10 years, I guess, when my dad was diagnosed. So on my birthday, I always think about, like, what I would normally do with my parents if they were still here, and like the birthdays and, like, dinners and, like, whatever, like, even just, like, getting a card in the mail. Like, I would look, not that I, like, expected the card, but it's like my mom always sent me a card, in the mail, or, like, a present in the mail. So, like, you think about that, and then as you get older, you get, like, less and less presents. And so, like, that was always, like, a gift I could, like, depend on, if that makes sense.
You're just looking forward to it. Like, it's coming.
It's kind of, like, instinctual. Like, I know it's going to happen. And so there's little things like that where, like, you just don't think about, like, when, I don't know, because it's routine, right? Like, it's just how it's always been. And suddenly it's, like, not like that anymore. So yeah, obviously birthdays are, like, kind of sad now. And when my mom first passed, like, I actually didn't do anything that year. I think Barry and I just, like, I think he, like, made some arrangements and we just stayed home, like, all day.
Yeah.
Because I was, like, so upset. And then when my dad passed, I started going to the beach on my birthday. So I would spend, like, the morning by myself, and I would have, like, my alone time and stuff. And then I would journal, and I would, like, cry, and I would listen to Taylor Swift on the beach. And then I would collect myself, and I like, made sure to, like, schedule in, like, a cry time in my day. You know what I mean?
I think a good cry sometimes is, like, all you need to kind of relieve whatever is going on inside. Yeah. And that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
What made you start, like, going to, like, why the beach?
I don't know why the beach. And you know what? It wasn't always just, like, I needed to go to the beach specifically to cry. It was, like, the drive to the beach was so meaningful to me. Like, driving on the 10 in LA and, like, going down PCH and, like, just looking out, like, on the left-hand side and, like, seeing the water, and, like, it was always early in the morning, and so it was, like, kind of foggy, and that part was emotional to me. And, like, listening to, like, my favorite music and, like, thinking about him, and, like, or music that reminded me of him and stuff, like, that was always so, like, cathartic for me. And so, like, whenever I drive, on the PCH, I'm always like very emotional because I'm like, okay, this is like usually the time when I'm thinking about my dad or I'm thinking about my mom or whatever. So yeah, I I mentioned before we're both wearing black. So this is my funeral dress. I have gone to so many funerals in my life. I've given 5 eulogies, like for my parents, for my grandpa, for a great aunt, and then I don't remember the other one. Oh, I guess for my grandma too, but it was a combined one. And so I have this like theory that all girls should have a funeral dress in their closet. And that sounds so morbid, but I really think that one, a modest, like I have sleeves, right? Like a modest black dress is a great addition to any closet.
Here's the plug that I didn't see this one coming. She's literally plugging any black dress right now.
I think all girls should have a modest black dress that they can wear for an interview. In my case, I would wear for funerals.
When you're thinking about your capsule wardrobe,
exactly.
Don't forget to add a
your
basic
funeral dress,
black, modest funeral dress.
Yes, because this is the problem that most people don't have. I have, which is, these funerals, they just catch up on you, and then the last thing I want to think about is what I'm going to wear to the ceremony. And so like when my dad died, my dad was sick for 2 years, and I remember thinking like sometimes I'd look at my closet and be like, if it happens, like what would I wear? And I'm no, it's morbid. I don't want to think about it. But it's kind of practical because what happened? I wore a slutty dress to my dad's funeral.
And nobody is looking at you being like, why is she dressed so slutty?
I hope so. Some of my friends, it was in high school, some of my friends were like, you look great today. And I was like, I do look great today. Thank you. But I had to it was like an off the shoulder, like short black dress. I had to like pull the sleeves up and stuff. And then, for like my mom and my grandmas too, it's like, once again, I bought this dress with the thought like, okay, there might be more deaths in my family soon. Like I need to be prepared. So I invested in this like Reformation dress and it served me really well. I wore it to my grandma's. I wore it to my mom's like burial. I wore it to a different thing too. I wear it a lot and it's really come in handy and I don't have to think about it.
But I am sorry that you had to have like a funeral dress.
I know. It is morbid.
Well, I don't think like in your 20s, like a 20-year-old would expect this much loss.
Yeah.
Like
no, like this is crazy.
Year. Yeah. Like it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And like
it's crazy.
I think there is a point in your life. It's like right now, I think everyone on my Facebook page is getting engaged and married and like starting to have children or pregnant.
I can't even think about that right now.
And like that kind of to me is like everyone's experience. So it's so different, but like such a great perspective to talk about like permanent loss in your mid-20s, because I feel like while not many people could probably relate and like thank God, like the people that have gone through it are not going through it alone,
right?
Because it's so rare.
It feels so rare. I agree, but like I'm weirdly in a group for people that are in their 20s and 30s and have experienced double parent loss.
Did at any point yesterday were you like, I really just want this to be over with, like I want to be alone, or like
no, I think this time I was feeling a little bit more prepared, I guess, to like have more fun and like celebrate it. I did my like journaling the night before my actual birthday, and then I don't know, it was just a little bit easier this year, I guess.
No, I mean like I've known you only after your mom passed, but like I know about all the loss that you've had to face, and all I've ever said was like, you're really strong. Like, and seeing you just like live this life and like not recover, I guess, but just like kind of
work through it
has been like really amazing, because I like can't even imagine what it's like to go through all of that. And then because you're still young, like in your mid-20s, it's like really hard to talk about with other people.
Yeah.
Because, like, nobody's really gone through that and knows what to say or, like, how to react. And
it's also such a downer thing to talk about. Be like, oh, like, guess what I did this weekend? My mom's funeral. Like, you know, it's never easy to bring up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. It's like, it is such a weird, it's a weird thing in your it's the most unglamorous thing about me, that's for sure. Like, but you know what? Like, going through this period of grief and like being so depressed and like sad all the time, which I guess you wouldn't be able to tell from the pod, but it's been so hard. It's how Janice and I connected, to be honest.
It really is.
Yes, because you were going through a really tough time and it wasn't the same type of grief, but the symptoms or whatever, like, of it were very similar.
I think the feeling of, like, hitting rock bottom, or, like, losing your entire world, or what you knew of it to be, like, that I could totally relate to. And, like, the feeling of loss, everyone knows that feeling, whether it's, like, permanent or not, right?
Agreed.
And, like, when we came together, it was when we both faced loss. One being permanent, but mine, I guess it was, like, more in your mid-20s where the person's still very much alive.
Yes.
But what that person is in your life is gone.
Right.
And so, like, I was, okay, well, what I'm kind of hinting around is obviously a breakup. I was with him for, like, 4 years.
Yeah.
And
crazy.
You know what I realized? It's like, you can't really, when you're in a relationship, right? Like, you can't really feel the big changes happening to you. But slowly, like, from year 1 to year 4, I've realized, like, I basically made him my world. I was friends with all of his friends. I lost my friends.
Right.
I didn't really have hobbies. I hated my job. Like, all of these things, once the breakup happens, you look back and you're like, holy shit. Like, not only did I lose him, I lost myself, I lost my friends, I lost my hobbies, I lost literally everything. Yeah. And it was devastating to me because I couldn't see a way out. I was like, what do I have now? Yeah, like, how do I get my friends back? How do I figure out what I like? And that was really scary. Like, that took me a while to recover from.
I mean, you're grieving the loss of a person in your life, but it's also, like, grieving time and, like, grieving like the friends and, like, the way that your life functioned completely changed to, like, being maybe, like, really active and, like, you were doing a lot of things, like, with him and, like, with his life, to basically not doing anything, right?
You're alone. You start from scratch. And, like, not to be dramatic here, because that's obviously Emily's thing, but, like, you've lost your future, right?
Yeah.
Everything you imagine, like, getting married, like, moving, getting a house, like, all these things, gone. Yeah. And you never saw it coming. Yeah. And then now you have to restart. You're like, I've lost everything. Where do I even start?
Yeah. And I hate to be this person right now, but you know, like, that was a really hard breakup, and unfortunately you had another hard breakup, like, more recently, which is, I think, sort of why a lot of these, like, thoughts and things are, like, resurfacing, you know?
I think, like, one thing that kind of I learned over the first breakup is, like, I never want to be somebody again that like makes my whole world just this one person. Yes. And I want to be able to, like, have my own friends, have my own support group, have my own world, essentially, and share it with someone, but not make that whole world that person.
And you did do that. Like, you learned so much from that breakup, and you brought all of those learned lessons into this past relationship. I think you did a fantastic job. And with this past relationship, like, I really think you put to practice everything you, like, taught yourself. I don't think it was because of all of that the relationship didn't work out, just didn't work out. But it's still really sad. Like, it wasn't as long as the first relationship, but I think it really impacted you, and it's still been tough to grieve that time still.
The most recent one?
Yes.
Yeah, I think the most recent one has been hard. Like something I guess I've been thinking a lot about is like we have faced so much loss in our lives. Like whatever it might be, it's also important to like, easier said than done, but like reshift your focus from what you've lost and what you don't have to like what you actually have and be grateful for that and like what you have going on and what you want. And that was something big I learned because I was like, I lost all my friends. It's going to be so embarrassing to crawl back to them now that I need them. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm using them now, you know? Like, this is so embarrassing. But then I'm like, okay, you know what? Like, I guess this marks the time in my life where I've realized, like, I'm so sorry for abandoning you. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm going to just accept it, face it, and then come back, but not do the same thing again.
Yeah.
And so even though, like, this time, it was kind of like, there was not a lot of closure to what happened.
Right.
And
similar to permanent loss too.
Because it just happens without like...
Just happens.
Yeah.
You're like, what the hell's going on?
And your mind can't fully understand and there's like so many questions, you know, and so much that you're processing, but the person's not there to like give you the certainty and the like security that you need or the answers. And like all you have are your thoughts and you can't even tell if they're right or wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
And so without that closure, I think it's harder to like keep chugging along, you know? And so
how do you keep putting one foot in front of the other in both situations? Like you said, there's no one you can talk to.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're doing it right, you shouldn't be talking to the person. And like, I obviously wouldn't be able to talk to my parents. And so, yeah, it is so tough to like ground yourself. Like, how have you been working on that?
I think a lot of it is not just like, okay, you know what, this is it, I'm moving on. Like, it's very hard to do that. What I've been focused on is like, what do I have? I still have my friends.
Yes.
I still have this podcast. I still have like my hobbies.
Yeah.
I still have this job where I finally gained momentum and I'm going somewhere. Yeah. So like, if I'm looking for certainty and security and safety and like answers I can trust and things I can expect that are in my control, then this is it. I know I have my friends. I know I have my job. And so I'm just trying to literally focus on what I have and make sure that's strong. Like, there is no like, okay, in 2 weeks I'm going to go back on dating apps. I'm going to like whatever. Like, obviously, I still think about him, right? And like there's still things that come up, but it's just like reshifting my focus now to my friends and my family.
I love that. And that's exactly what I did when my mom died. Is I had my journal. I journaled every single day. And in my journal, I would write a bunch of things, but at the end, it was, what are 3 things you're grateful for today? And I really think that's what helped me ground myself too, is being like, okay, let's reshift. Like, obviously, I can talk about all the things I'm upset about and angry and sad and everything, but at the end of the day, I still have miraculously things to be grateful for. Like, even when we're at the bottom, right? Like, there are things that you can figure out that you're grateful for. And it was always like my friends, my family, Barry, like, you would be surprised, right? Like, what you can find and dig up.
Did you ever feel like when you're journaling about what you're grateful for, like at first did it feel kind of silly? Like, oh, I don't actually feel grateful. Like, I know I should be grateful for my friends and my family, but sometimes like when you're going through so much sadness, it's like, okay, yeah, like I'm grateful for the life I have. I'm grateful for my job, but it's like really hard to be authentic about the exercise, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, I think for mine, it felt genuine to me because maybe like my aunt had like texted me something that day and like it really lifted my spirit. So I would say like, for my family, and I meant it, like for my family, because I felt like 20 times better because she had sent me that. Or like Barry went to pick up food for us that day because I just couldn't move. And I would genuinely think, no, I am so grateful because I would not have eaten today, right? If like he didn't do that. So I think I was able to like authentically be grateful in those moments. But, you know, the overall feeling was like I hate everything. Like, I want to leave like the world. Yeah.
I think that's really like mature of you.
Thanks.
No, it's also like, I think when you go through so much loss, you start to realize like what you are grateful for, like the little moments.
Yes, it becomes huge for sure.
I don't think everybody sees that.
That's such a topic. Like, I feel like my perspective of life has changed drastically.
Yes.
Everything that I do now is under the lens of like, I could die tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah. Because my parents died young. So my whole thought process, like, I know people think about that, but like, I truly think about that all the time. And I get frustrated by the way that other people like spend these minutes of their lives. And I always tell Barry, like, I get so mad, and I'm like, if it was me, I would have done this. If it was me, I would have said this, or I don't know. There's so many things where I'm like, you're wasting time.
Like, you don't understand.
You have no idea. And I can't say anything to anyone because it doesn't matter what I think. Like, you've never walked in my shoes. You've never experienced this type of loss before. Like, it would go be one ear and then out the other. Yeah. That's like probably the biggest thing I struggle with is like, I view life so much more preciously than like probably the average person.
And I think that's a huge learning thing too, to like be like, I cannot like force my views on you or like what I've learned. It's something people have to learn themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when I ask you like, Emily, should I do this? She's like, no. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Should I download this dating app right now? Like, no, Janice.
Oh, it's fine. I'm fine. And then immediately in tears.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's something I started to learn. But before, like when I was still in my first relationship and like things were a little bit, I don't know, turbulent, volatile.
Oh, God.
I would be like, okay, what am I grateful for today? Because I'd listen to these like self-help podcasts and like always remember, like list 3 things that you're grateful for. And I felt like it got really silly for me. I would be like, grateful for this meal today, grateful for like having a job, grateful for like my family, which like I am always grateful for, right?
Oh, I see.
But it wasn't until like I lost, I'm not going to say everything, but like, you know, I lost a lot of like who I was.
Yeah.
That I like looked back and I realized, holy shit, like I really lost myself. How did I get here?
Yeah.
And then now I'm like, okay, never going to do that again.
Yeah.
And then this time I'm like, I still have these things. And I'm like, wow, I am grateful for that because I realize like what that feeling is to lose it all. And then to be able to like change and maintain that. Like, I am proud of myself for that.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to feel actually grateful.
That's cool though, that you were able to make that switch of like, I'm doing it as an exercise to like, no, I'm doing it and it's helping me and I'm seeing the results.
Yeah. And I think that's a big thing. It's like people, not everyone is going to go through something like this and they are lucky. But it doesn't always work until you feel like, until you've gone through something, then you can start to like see these things about life.
Yeah, I agree. You like kind of mentioned something about, so Janice's birthday is in like a week and a half or so. And like, I know, like I said, birthdays are an interesting time. Like, what have you been thinking about with, you know, all of this going on for you?
Jeez.
Big question.
Oh my God. I've been thinking a lot about my birthday this year because it's the first one I'm spending single in 4 years. So there is that reminder that is about like loss, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I lost things that led me to being single this year.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to reshift my focus because okay, so I made this birthday wish when I was 26, and I guess I can say it now because it's been a year. And it's already come true. It's very vague though, but at 26, when I lost everything, like all I said was I wish to be like more fulfilled this year and like do things that actually make me happy. Yeah. Like have the guts to pursue whatever I want.
Wow, you've done that.
One thing. And it was this podcast and finding friends.
Yeah. Me.
I literally just need to have
Well, I was going to say it's not just the podcast. You changed careers completely too, you know?
You're right.
Yeah.
And I made that big jump and I look back now and I think that is kind of like where my mixed feelings come in. Like, yes, I am sad that I'm not sad that I'm single, but like, yes, I lost something. But I want to look at my birthday. Like, everybody that I'm going to invite to my birthday dinner is my friend.
Yes.
That
you have a relationship with. Yeah.
And it wasn't my boyfriend's friend and like our couple friends and like whatever, because
it's just you. Yeah.
That was what it used to be, just like his friends, right? But now it's like people that I actually go out with, have a podcast with, like go skiing with, these adventures that I'm going on because of me. These are the friends that love me for me, and I worked to get like to have them in my life, right? Yeah. And so I want to celebrate that.
Yeah, I love that.
Thanks.
Oh.
Our birthdays just mean a lot.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, I guess if you're going through, I don't know, a breakup or a loss of any kind, I hope that us sharing our experiences and like getting vulnerable on here and like showing, okay, like, yes, we've done this, but this is how we've like are starting to heal from it, is helpful. So anyways, happy birthday to all the Libras out there and the Scorpios. Yes! We're not as psycho as everybody says, okay? We'll see.